Alright, it's Mr. Good again, just for the second part of help on 1.2.1. Log files, these are where your computer's recording every change that happens to it. And I wanted to show you this because it's hard to find these if you don't know a Windows computer, which many of you don't. So I wanted to show you, first of all, I'm going to follow these directions. After putting that in your notebook, you're going to be like, alright, I'm going to start and type in event viewer. There it is. Oh crap. Gosh darn it. It jumped on me. Okay, let me try that again. There we go. Event viewer. Okay, so we jumped to event viewer, and this is kind of hard to find because it's like, alright, click the little drop down arrow next to applications and service logs. So here's this. That's not hard. And then it blasts through these. It's like, okay, then go to Microsoft, Windows Firewall with Advanced Security. Well, if you don't, if you're not comfortable with it, here's what it looks like originally. You have to be like, okay, step by step, I have to expand each one of these things. All right, here's applications. Then I go to Microsoft, right? Because it said Microsoft next. Okay, here's Microsoft. And then I go to Windows. This thing is huge. And then you have to go to not firewall, because you'd think, okay, if I scroll down here, I get to the F's, I'm going to be in the right spot. And it has stuff about firewall, but be careful because it says you have to go in here to Windows Firewall with Advanced Security, because that's where we made the changes to our inbound rule. So I got to scroll all the way down to the W's. Jeez, this is long. Okay, and hopefully I will see, Windows. I can make this wider if I want. Windows Firewall with Advanced Security, and I open that one. And here, and finally, you can double click on Firewall. So there's a lot of places you could get lost there. Okay, so this has all the changes. If you look here, this is a log of all the changes that have been made to your firewall. Now, we went in and we messed with this earlier. And we changed our FTP setting. Now, if you did this part of the lab on a separate day, then you'll have to go back into firewall inbound rules and just mess with the FTP a little so you can see this. Like go turn them off again. So I can search in here using this find thing, and I can type in FTP. I could do this also for my HTTP. If I hit find next, it found, in general, it found the first thing you did, the first thing you modified here, right? So remember when we changed the FTP traffic in? And how I can tell it worked is I can look here and say, oh, it's no longer active. And that's what you're checking. Basically, you can see if anyone messed with your firewall. So let's say, that day you leave your computer out on your desk and you're wondering, did someone mess with my computer and open up a firewall so later they can come send me stuff? That's a sneaky long move. Like you're not gonna do anything with their computer now, but you open it for attack. You could go into here into your firewall settings and just check the date and time. You're like, okay, I was in a library on 9/17 at 5 a.m. and you can check if, I don't know why it's showing up as 5 a.m. Because it's definitely not 5 a.m. You can check if somebody messed with your firewalls at that time and see if they turned something on they shouldn't have or something like that. So anyway, that's how the log thing works. I wanted to show you where that was because that was confusing. And then the other thing, when you're doing your antivirus software, which this is built in this computer, it's like Norton. When I hit update now, in the past, this would cause an error. Last year, they had an error with this thing. I wanted to run this real quick to see if there's still an error. If you do get an error while updating, just take a screenshot of this to show you're trying. If it errors out, then, we can live with that because it's a problem with the virtual machine. Hopefully they fixed it. Yeah. Well, see, it says error, but let it run for a bit. No, it's going to fix it. Okay. So it looks like that part's working. And then you can do all these things, setting components, make sure your scans are turned on and stuff like that. So you want to make sure you're not just checking for your computer, you're checking, that your other stuff is scanning too. So you can run a deep scan on it, see if it finds anything bad. Scan your computer. And it starts scanning like that. All right, so anyway, there's that. And then you have the backups part, but that's pretty easy to do. And then deletions are pretty easy to see, although that's really weak. All right, anyway, that's the hard part on file or log files. And I will talk to you later. Adios.